In a land where the gleaming spires of democracy stood shoulder to shoulder with the ancient and regal institutions of monarchy, there lived an orphan boy named Oliver. He was a scrap of humanity, with a heart as vast as the prairies and a courage that belied his humble origins. His home was the shadowed alleys and bustling markets of the city, a place vibrant with the promise of progress, yet anchored in the traditions of the past. Oliver's days were spent in the pursuit of survival, his nights under the canopy of stars that whispered of a destiny far greater than he could imagine. King Theodore, the aging monarch of the United States, bore the weight of his crown with a grace that spoke of years spent in service to his people. Yet beneath the silver hair and the regal bearing, a storm brewed within his heart, a storm of concern for the future of his kingdom. Queen Constance, his wife, was as ambitious as she was beautiful, with eyes that sparkled with an unquenchable thirst for power. Their marriage, though a union of strategic importance, was a battleground of wills, a chess game played with the future of the nation as its prize. It was during a rare public appearance that King Theodore's path crossed with that of young Oliver. The boy, displaying a bravery uncommon among even the king's own guard, thwarted an attempt on the monarch's life with nothing but his wits and a fierce sense of justice. This act of valor did not go unnoticed by the king, nor did the purity of heart with which it was executed. Moved by Oliver's actions and guided by a sense of impending fate, King Theodore made a decision that would send ripples through the corridors of power. He summoned Oliver to the palace, a place of opulence and intrigue, where every whisper could be a declaration of war, and every smile a prelude to a betrayal. Under the king's patronage, Oliver was to be groomed for a role no one could have anticipated, the heir to the throne of the United States. Queen Constance watched this development with a viper's gaze. Oliver, the orphan, represented a threat not only to her children's claim to the throne, but to her own aspirations of power. Yet, she masked her malice with a smile as sharp as a blade, plotting the downfall of this unexpected chess piece in her husband's game. Amidst the splendor and the shadows of the palace, Oliver found an unlikely ally in Lady Margaret, the king's advisor. With silver hair and eyes that had seen the passage of many a year, she was wisdom personified. Lady Margaret took Oliver under her wing, teaching him not only the ways of the court, but the deeper, more elusive lessons of leadership and compassion. As Oliver grew from boy to young man, he began to embody the qualities of a true monarch. His sense of justice, honed on the unforgiving streets, now found expression in his efforts to bridge the gap between the rich tapestry of the kingdom's past and the luminous promise of its future. However, the path to the throne was far from assured. On the eve of Oliver's official proclamation as heir, a secret older than the monarchy itself emerged from the shadows. Documents, long hidden within the depths of the royal archives, revealed a lineage that traced back to the very foundation of the kingdom, a lineage that linked Oliver not just to the streets from which he came, but to the royal bloodline itself. The revelation shook the pillars of the palace. Oliver's claim to the throne, once based on merit and the king's favor, was now underscored by a birthright as undeniable as the blood coursing through his veins. But this newfound legitimacy was a double-edged sword. It solidified his place in the line of succession, but also painted a target on his back, drawing the ire of those who saw his ascent as a threat to their own power. Queen Constance, seeing her plans unravel, launched a desperate gambit to usurp the throne. With allies in dark corners and a heart steeled against mercy, she sought to turn Oliver's moment of triumph into his downfall. The kingdom stood on the brink of civil war, with loyalties tested and alliances forged in the heat of impending battle. Oliver, once the boy of the streets, now stood as the beacon of hope for a nation divided. With Lady Margaret's guidance, he navigated the treacherous waters of betrayal and intrigue, his resolve hardened by the trials he faced. In the end, it was not the might of arms that secured Oliver's place on the throne, but the strength of his character. His willingness to forgive even those who had sought his life, his unwavering commitment to justice for all citizens, and his vision for a kingdom united in its diversity won the hearts and minds of the people. Queen Constance's coup was thwarted, not by the sword, but by the revelation of her schemes to the public. Disgraced and stripped of her power, she was exiled, a cautionary tale whispered in the halls of the palace. King Theodore, his health failing, witnessed the dawn of a new era for the kingdom. With Oliver by his side, he saw the future he had dared to dream of, a future where the crown was a symbol not of power, but of responsibility, not of division, but of unity. As King Theodore breathed his last, Oliver ascended to the throne, not as a ruler by chance, but as a monarch by destiny. The crown of destiny, once a mere ornament of state, became a testament to the journey of a boy from the streets to the highest seat of power, guided by the values of justice, compassion, and a relentless pursuit of a better world for all. And so the kingdom entered a new chapter, with a king whose reign was heralded not by the clamor of war, but by the hopeful whispers of peace. The story of Oliver, the orphan who became a king, was told and retold, a legend that spanned generations, a reminder that destiny is not a matter of birth, but of choice, and that the true measure of a ruler lies not in the crown they wear, but in the legacy they leave behind.